unique things that Joe and I have put together. And you're going to see Joe delivers this content in each of the modules. And I got to tell you, he's one of the masters. That's why he and I teamed up on the Leads in an Hour system and why we put it together for you and just made it, something that anybody can go through. I want to remind you of something. I want to remind you that we've made everything very easy for you to go through and very simple to understand. Every single module is short and to the point so that you can just pick a module, implement the information, and just get after it in your business and literally get leads in an hour. Now, I'm going to pass it off to Joe, and he's just going to talk through a little bit of what the Leads in an Hour system is about, how he uses it in his business, and just kind of give you that welcome information before you dive into the material itself. The first module is just about helping you get your wits about you and get dialed in on where to launch your lead generation campaigns. Then everything after that is all about getting you leads fast. So with that, let me toss it over to Joe. Joe, take it away. Just tell people what they've got to look forward to.
Thanks, Rob. I've been doing this business for a long time. I've always been a big fan of marketing, and it's important for people to understand we're not in the real estate business, right? We're in the marketing business, and leads are the lifeblood of your business. And if you don't understand marketing, if you're not getting leads on a daily, consistent basis, then your business is not going to get very far. You're going to die a slow and miserable death in your business because you're not getting leads. Leads are the lifeblood of your business. And I learned early on, if I don't get somebody else to do this marketing for me, it just wasn't going to get done. So I've always taken the philosophy of marketing done for you in spite of you. And I love these systems of marketing because once you know how to do them yourself, and you can do them yourself, they're really easy to duplicate and give to somebody else to do. This isn't rocket science. I mean, this is marketing that's so simple, you could get your 10-year-old, your 13-year-old kid to do it for you. So I really, when I started creating this stuff, I really wanted something that was just really, really simple that I could easily systemize and duplicate and outsource to other people to do for me. But, even if you want to just do it yourself, if you're new, this stuff is so easy to pick up. We start off with the first module of defining what your marketing needs to be, because it's real important. You want to make 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, that's great. That means maybe 2 to 4 deals a month, but you can't control that. You can't control that your average profit's going to be 5 grand. But what you can control, if you break it down all the way, is how much marketing you need to do every day, every week.
So now
and that makes it much more realistic and attainable when you can break it down into those little goals and targets. And that's what I tried to focus on the first session, is coming up with a rock-solid marketing plan. And it's important to have that so you know what your numbers are. You can break down your big goals into things you can control and actually manage. Then we just start going into things that, a lot of people know about Craigslist, they know about Zillow and all that stuff, but no one really knows the right way to use that stuff. And we're not talking about posting ads, we're talking about contacting people who already have their houses listed for rent or for sale. And if you think about it, it's beautiful. A lot of times, we're trying to go after the vacant houses, or we drive for dollars looking for vacant houses, and that's awesome. But many times there's thousands of vacant houses right under our noses on the internet being advertised right now for rent. I mean, these are properties where the landlord, it took them a couple months to kick the tenant out. Now that the tenant's out, it's taken them another month or two to clean it up and advertise it again. Those houses have been vacant for 3-4 months many times. So now we're contacting them saying, hey, you want to sell your house to us? So there's just a hidden trove of resources out there all under our noses. And you can contact these folks for free and just send out your message to them. And it's not cold calling, it's not postcards, it's just really simple stuff. You get out there in front of them, and you only talk to the people who raise their hands and say, yeah, I'm interested. That's the beautiful thing about this system. It starts with creating a plan. It starts with going to the free resources that are out there right now and contacting them, and then having the follow-up systems in place that you can stay in front of them and contact them. So I'm super passionate and excited about this.
And that's what's really cool about this stuff, Joe, is that, real estate investing is pretty simple if you really break it down. No matter what medium and method you use to get leads, motivated sellers are all pretty much cut of the same cloth. You know, I've been doing this for 14 years, and time and time again, there's 3 or 4 big buckets that most motivated sellers fall into. And what we've done here, guys and gals, is we've put something together that just lasers you right in on that motivated seller group. And the way Joe puts it all together, the messaging he gives you, the systems he shows you to use, how to specifically how to do it is different than what anybody else teaches. And that's the key. Maybe the sources of leads are similar, but the approach very unique, and that's why it works so well. So I know I'm excited that everybody's in here and going to be going through this stuff. Joe, I know you're excited about it as well too. With that, we just want to welcome you. Is there anything you want to say in a final welcome to folks before they just dive into the material and start getting leads?
Well, I'm at a hotel right now. I just finished speaking. I've spoke to like 5 different groups in the last week, teaching about real estate and stuff like that. But as I meet investors all over the country and talk to them about what they're doing for marketing, 9 times out of 10, any investor who's struggling, they're struggling because they're not doing enough marketing. And when you talk to them and you hear about the marketing that they're doing, it's no wonder they're frustrated, because they're either doing the wrong marketing or they're not doing enough. And it's really, really simple. We're in business to make money, right? And if you're not doing marketing, if you're not doing enough of it, or if you're doing the wrong kind, or if you're spending too much money on marketing, you're really going to struggle. And so I talk to these people, and I find out kind of what they're doing, and I share with them a little bit about what we talk about here. I don't give this stuff away when I speak publicly. It's mind-blowing. A lot of people this is amazing. You can actually get leads for free. You can actually get a 15-20% response rate on your marketing. You can actually get 5 to 10 sellers calling you every day for wanting to sell their house. And I'm like, yeah, you can. You really, really can. So one thing I want to say final, then I'll be done. There's such a thing. Well, this university did a study, Rob. They looked at the most successful salespeople in this large international company that made over $300,000 a year selling, and then they compared them to all of the ones that made under $30,000 a year. Right, so over 300 and under 30, and they looked at them and they said, what was the difference between these two groups of people? Well, they studied this. It wasn't the education, it wasn't the college they went to, it wasn't their good looks, right? It wasn't how much hair they had, thank God, right, Rob? It wasn't whether they were a male or a female or the kind of car they drove. It was one thing. It was the speed of implementation. The speed of implementation. And if one thing I want to convey to you guys is, if you want to be successful in this business, you've got what you have here. This is worth way more than what you paid for it, I promise you. You've got to take this stuff and implement it. Implement it right away. This is so simple. This is stuff that you could stop the video, go implement it, come back to the video, go implement the next step. It's really step-by-step simple. But if you want to have success and stand out above the 99% of the people out there that try this stuff and fail, you've got to be quick to implement this stuff, quick to take action, and you're going to see success.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome, Joe. Great information. And inside the Leads in Our System, guys, absolutely phenomenal information. Look, whether you implement it right now today, whether your business is in a place where you're going to reference this, it's part of your reference library 60 days from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, having access to the Leads in an Hour system is going to be one of those reference things that you're going to go back to for the rest of your life as a real estate investor and say, what can I do? How can I do it? And boom, there it is, the entire system laid out for you. So, guys, this is Rob Swanson and Joe McCall. We want to both welcome you into the Leads in an Hour system. Dive in, take a look around the members area. Right at the top here, let us know your successes. As you use this system, fill in the form right up above our heads and let us know what's working for you, how it's going. Let us know you're using this material. We want to hear about it. We want to hear your success. So for the Leads in an Hour system, this is Rob Swanson and Joe McCall. See you guys next time.
See ya.